let's get into the news. We're going to start off with that crazy Avengers Doomsday cast reveal. Now, it was a 5-hour stream. Did either of you guys watch that stream live while it was happening?
Oh, God, no.
Bits or pieces of it. I'm not saying the whole 5 hours. I mean, nobody's dumb as me watched the whole 5 hours.
I think I maybe watched like 5 minutes and saw a name or two, and then that was it. Yeah, but then the news was just flooding the phone.
It was flooding. Yeah. So every about 15 minutes, it would play a little bit of music, and so there was excitement because you're trying to figure out, oh, what's that song from? Oh, it's the old 90s X-Men song, and then here come Patrick Stewart. That was really fun, and they broke a record for a live stream. Can you guess how many people watched that 5-hour live stream? Not necessarily all of it, but
goodness gracious,
millions, right? Like 5 million.
Has to be right. It's 18 million.
You got 18 million. Here's the number: 250 million.
Oh my gosh! Wow,
that's crazy,
insane. So at the time, I was like, I hate this stupid stunt because literally I'm like editing one of the videos about the stunt while the stunt's happening, and like I had to do 2 parts for it and stuff like that. But let's go over some of the cast here. So we had all of the Fantastic Four: Pedro, Vanessa, Joseph, and Ebon coming back. So that's the Fantastic Four there. But I think what was really a big surprise to me was the classic X-Men. So we have Patrick Stewart, so that's our Professor X, Ian McKellen, that's our Magneto, Rebecca Romaine, Mystique, and Kelsey Grammer, that's the Beast. We also have Cyclops coming back, and we have Alan coming back as Nightcrawler. Thank you.
Yeah, the best.
What do you guys, in my opinion too, what do you guys think about these old school guys coming back like this?
I think that's awesome. I mean, we've seen the young generation of them in the other X-Men movies, but it just doesn't hit the same. And they're selling nostalgia. Sell it. Like, get us the original cast, right? Why not?
Yeah, it's almost like paying homage, right, to like what we grew up on, and then once we see like that, kind of like with Deadpool, right? When we saw Blade pop in there, Wesley Snipes, and we're like, oh my gosh, I grew up with that. So, I think that's going to be like the excitement. We're going to get that same feel. I might be like jumping the gun a little bit, but some maybe questionings of these casting or not casting, right? Because we didn't see like a Ryan Reynolds, we didn't see like a Tom Holland, like Brie Larson. What's going on with these stories? Well, that's kind of some interesting stuff. Like what are they doing when it comes to Dooms? Right?
I'm so glad you bring that up because Spider-Man 4 will be taking place during Doomsday. So we're going to have Spider-Man, Tom Holland there. We might have a couple other characters pop up in that. But I love that because we see that all the time in comic books when it's like the Blood Hunt adventures going on. Then we see or Venom Wars going on. Then we see what's going on in other comics that haven't been going on during the Venom War and they all tie in. And I think that's what this is going to feel like. So maybe we're going to have this big adventure with the Avengers, basically reassembling so that they could fight off Doomsday. And clearly other multiverses clashing together because we have the X-Men coming in and they're right now with actually she wasn't mentioned either, was she?
What's that?
Monica Rambeau, I don't think she was mentioned, so that's interesting. But we presume they're all going to be clashing together. But then we're going to see Spider-Man and he's like also fighting a Doom's attack or whatever in New York. And so they're all going to be combining in some sort of way. And maybe he'll get a little bit of the symbiote to try to like all of a sudden power it up and fight against because Black Suit symbiote is from Secret Wars. So
okay. So you're saying more like side stories than we are continuations of
Secret Wars.
Okay.
Yeah, probably. Okay. Yeah. And then one of the other things too is everybody's like, well, where's this person? Where's that person? This is not the end game. This is Infinity War. So end game Secret Wars, I presume everybody's coming back. And I think that's where we're going to get every X-Men back. And I think that's where we're going to get first class X-Men back as well. Because, I mean, why not get those kids involved, whatever, it's just a few bucks and you get a whole new generation in there too. We also have a lot of the Thunderbolts in here with, Florence Pugh and Wyatt Russell and all them. Yeah. We have some of the classics coming back, Chris Hemsworth, Anthony Mackie, Paul Rudd, Letitia Wright. So we got Simu Lee coming back, guys. About damn time. Tom Hiddleston, so that means that Loki is back from the end of Loki season 2, which is absurd.
It's gonna be interesting.
And then of course RDJ is gonna be back and he's playing Doom. So first off, I think this casting reveal, while I was upset with it at the time, it actually worked out quite well because I think the slow hype throughout the entire day was a smart move. The fact that we're getting like Shang-Chi back to me is a really big deal because I think Shang-Chi was almost forgotten and he shouldn't have been. I think that's one of the better movies from Phase 4.
Appreciated for sure.
Yeah.
For the first half.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying.
Well, either way, nevertheless, in comparison to a lot of the other Phase 4 movies, I would say
I enjoyed it too.
Yeah. What are we wanting out of this movie? Are we wanting Doctor Doom to win?
Yeah, but are we going to copy? Okay, so I would, right? Because oh man, I don't know. Because then would they be copying like the formula of like Thanos essentially? Hey, bad guy
I'm
won the
afraid
first
of them
one,
getting
winner
too
the second
close to
one.
that.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think triggers the secret war for Doom though?
Well, we
You
have
know?
they normally have the Molecule Man. Like usually they'll be killing the Molecule
Yeah.
Man and combining the universes. So they'll probably do the Anchor Being instead because they
Okay.
already established that with Deadpool and Wolverine. And I was like, why are you guys establishing this Loki thing in Deadpool and Wolverine? Oh, okay, because you guys are going to use it soon. So they're
Yeah.
probably killing the Anchor Beings, right? Just combining universes that way. And I don't know. I actually think they might pull off the comic book line, the panel where Doom comes up to Thanos and rips his skeleton out of him. And like just shows how strong he is. What do you think? Is that
Yeah.
even doable?
Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting to see Thanos back on the screen, right? And
Right.
just to kind of be like slapped around like that.
Yeah.
I think though, do you think this will be the only one off for Robert Downey Jr. Doom, and then maybe he dies in this one, but he like maybe leads this like future Doom that we're going to get in multiple movies? Because I hope we're not getting Doom in one movie, right?
That would be silly. Yeah.
Crazy,
Doom
right?
is the Loki-esque type of villain you want around for a lot of other movies. And yeah, and I think the Doom that we're gonna get in Secret Wars is God Emperor Doom. So specific Doom, not necessarily the Doom that we'll be dealing with all the time. I think that would be best because then God Emperor Doom, sure, make it RDJ, that's fine. But then we need to have Cillian Murphy or somebody that's going to be around for a long time. I don't think Robert Downey Jr. is good for that role to be around for too long.
No, I think that'd just be weird as a fan watching these movies like from so long, right? Yeah, I don't think.
I also think that with the idea of killing Thanos off, like I get what that point of that was to show how strong Doom is, God Emperor Doom is, but in doing that, you would negate all the sacrifice that went on during Endgame, which was one of the better impactful moments. So then all of a sudden, like Loki's death and RDJ's death, also like that to go into that Black Widow. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, okay, well, he's not even that strong because there's somebody else stronger behind him.
Well, I mean, we kind of got a little bit of that anyway with the Loki series, right? Like just the gems or the stones sitting in a drawer. You're like, who cares? Then it's like, what?
Well, fair. And when, to clarify, when Doom did that to Thanos, specifically calls out, do you have your gauntlet? And he says, no, but I don't need it. And then Doom's like, apparently you do. And ripped his skeleton out. So fair enough. Yeah, I know that was a big sticking point for you on the Loki series.
Yeah, the whole series.
Is there any surprises that you're excited for the most out of this list of cast?
I'm excited to see Nightcrawler coming back. That's the only one that really like stood out to me. The original Nightcrawler.
For me, I agree with it. Like it's some of the older X-Men, and not like some of the maybe even like I don't want to say better ones, but maybe the ones that like Michael Fassbender as Magneto is like, he's fucking wonderful,
Yeah.
Like we're going with the old Mystique and not Jennifer Lawrence Mystique, but I know Jennifer Lawrence had like issues with that whole role anyway. Like she didn't want to wear all the makeup and stuff. And it's like, okay, then you're just Jennifer Lawrence,
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I can kind of get one of things, but get that. But yeah, I think big surprises for me is seeing old X-Men with new X-Men, which we kind of got, but on this larger scale, maybe, or more of them like the team coming together, I guess, as way and one and not just like Wolverine with some of the newer ones, I don't know. There's a younger Cyclops taking lead, maybe.
And I do want to see a new generation of Cyclops, but I will say that there's been this thing where they're like, well, let's use this moment. Great example is when we saw Patrick Stewart, when we saw Professor X in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, he was in the yellow chair, right? So he wasn't the Professor X that we knew before. He was actually an animated series one.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to spoil too much, guys. We had a leaked image already. And Cyclops is wearing the blue and yellows.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping you would say. I just want like the original Cyclops to look at me like, you look kind of funny, but it's the blue and yellow. Like we love, we like it. No, he doesn't. Okay.
Yeah.
If you finally gave me Wolverine in yellow, you better fucking put Cyclops in his OG outfit.
And that leaked image, and I'm like, with AI nowadays, you don't know. So I'm really kind of studying this thing, and it looks real because it's so shitty. So it is like when they take a picture from 2 miles away, and he actually has like the yellow pockets on the actual belt across his chest and everything like that. The same exact thing. Sexy. And I was just like, yes, that's what I wanted, baby.
I have to use restroom. Sorry.
With Alan Cumming playing Nightcrawler, I mean, let's be honest, he's an old man. I mean, that's a role where you need to be agile. So I have a feeling that they're going to use mocap on him and do kind of what they did with Beast at the end of the Marvels movie. Because I think that was a better looking version of Beast.
Okay.
Really.
So kind of just him was still like wearing everything, but like more talking and standing instead of jumping around and everything. Is that
Well,
what you're
no,
trying to
the
say?
Beast at the end of
Or-
Marvels was Kelsey Grammer's Beast, but they captured his face and used a
got it.
fitter person to play Beast.
Got it,
Or
got it,
CGI'd,
okay.
right?
Okay.
And so I think they're gonna do that. It's gonna be like more CGI, but all mocap, so it'll look real, but it won't be so. It won't be that makeup that we literally saw in X2. Which that opening in X2 when he's like trying to kill the president was so cool. I hope that they kind of show some of that same combat again with him in here. I'm sure they will. He better be wielding a sword. I know that much.
They can use a stunt double, right, to do the more complicated stuff, and then
True.
use his acting for just conversations and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that
Just get
mocap
away
though,
from
like you're
CGI as
saying,
much
like
as we can.
yeah, I mean we've seen it with like how so sexy and advanced like the mocap has been, even with like Avatar. You know, it's like, oh my goodness gracious. So I could kind of see them just doing that instead of getting a second person, I guess.
Even the Thing, the new Fantastic Four, the Thing is going to be mocap versus the other Thing, and I think it looks pretty solid. You know, especially when you see like in the rain scene with the trench coat, I think that looks amazing.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way we're going. Any final comments on this before we move on to the next topic?
No, I'm looking forward to the
Alright.
excitement. Yeah.